What is excellent, everyone? It's Zen. Some people want me to do a video on food signatures, and as I always do, I try to give more of a philosophy on it and then a larger top-down look at things, so that way you can figure it out for yourself. Because obviously the information is out there. You can go and see, oh, a carrot looks like an eye, and you can find these specific foods. But if I give you the idea, if I give you the whole palette of information, then you can decode it yourself. And that's always what I try to do with all of these videos, is give you a little more than just the specific, oh yeah, you want to fix your brain, eat a walnut. I want to give you the entire thing so you can slice open yourself and slice open your own mind and start to use it to figure it out for yourself, so that you can just see the connections, the holographic connections between nature, your internal environment, your mind, and how this plant life works. So the idea here is basically that there is a male and a female dynamic to every plant. And that every plant that we look at is going to have a signature, meaning sign of nature, just like this. Think of it this way. You write down your signature on a piece of paper. And that way that you write your signature, just like if you were to draw a circle, just like if you were to make certain shapes, your connection between your hand, your body, and the mind that you have will unveil part of the restraints and convictions and ideas and philosophies that you have towards life. If you look at just a simple idea, if you look at the quickness that somebody writes something down with, or even how they may speak, these ideas come out as a sign of their nature. So if their writing is fast like a doctor, they're trying to get through something fast. It doesn't mean disorganized necessarily, but it may. You can look at somebody who has to have every I dotted and every T crossed, and writes very slowly or bubbly, and these speak about the nature of the person's philosophy on life. And people can change their ideas. They can be multiple things. But what we can know for sure is when we look into nature, we can see that a rock is a rock. A piece of granite has the philosophy, the understanding, and the consciousness of a piece of granite. And so does a walnut. A walnut has its philosophy, understanding, and organization of everything that is a walnut. It doesn't change. Humans are alchemists, and our body is an alchemy lab. So by putting all of these other things in us, these elements in us, we can change our body and our understandings. We can do it in both directions. We can eliminate everything in our body that isn't of us by fasting, or we can go in the other direction and add a bunch of things to us that we haven't usually added, which are probably all of these different kinds of fruits and vegetables, which actually link up with our organs and our systems in our body. And they always gear towards one or the other, male or female dynamic within the human system. But the most basic things we can look at is just, what does the plant life look like? What is its sign? What is it telling you? What is the smell? What is the aroma? What does it actually look like? And what does it feel like? We can go through these things, but the most basic concept is that we should be using our eyes and our sense of smell, because our sense of smell comes from our nose. There's no filter between our nose and our brain. And so they say, the nose knows gnosis. So that knowledge that comes from the nose is the most direct, highest source of knowledge. It won't steer you wrong. Shit smells like shit, and flowers smell like flowers. We've been fooled, and we can get fooled by inorganics and artificial smells, but for people that are cleaned up a little bit, the subtlety of the difference between the smell of a real vanilla bean and fake vanilla it's not even subtle anymore. It's obvious. Like, for instance, I know plenty of people, myself included, there are places that I have a difficult time being because of the chemical smell. Going into the club with everybody with fake cologne, and it's hard for me to do. It doesn't link up with my system. You can go to places that have we can even get into how inorganic lights, meaning like a certain color spectrum of the lights are putting out. This runs the gamut. This runs a parallel to the inorganic and the organic world, the artificiality of certain types of food even. that even in the lighting, because this is one more portal that we're putting something in. And as it sounds maybe a little bit disjointed, but it's not. The light that's given off from a light bulb is in particular spectrum of rays. So sometimes it's in a very blue color spectrum. Sometimes it's in red. So that the plant life is actually putting off the same type of information. So the information that was collected from the sunshine in those plants, it collects that into the seed and then it spits it back out as a color spectrum, as a color. So you're eating that color. And so it can speak to different parts of your body. The ancients would call it chakras, or and more appropriately, we'd call it your organs, energy centers within your body that will do something within your body, within the organs, within specific things in your body. So the obvious ones here are slice a carrot. It looks like your eyeball. And everyone knows that a carrot, for years, everyone said carrots are good for your eyes. And I don't want to get into this whole, well, science has proven it, yeah, because it just starts an argument. Let's get with the program. Let's get with the basis. What does it look like? Consume it. Does it seem like it has an effect on you? Have people been saying this for years? Is there some arcane heritage, word of mouth to ear wisdom that is occasionally shows up in scientific journals, but then is tried to be discredited by people that make money to discredit the organic world so they can make money off of their inorganic substances they're hustling through the use of registered trademarks and monetary systems? I mean, that's obvious. But surely we can find something in the organic world, because this is where we came from. There's no denying that we live on this planet. There's no denying that we came of the earth. There's no denying that the first years of our life and are the first years of our civilization, we weren't making things in an alchemy lab outside of us with inorganic salts. We were consuming of the earth, and that got us to the point where we are. So we can't just turn our back and say that it's no good. It doesn't have any source original codes in it, because it does. It comes from the sunshine, it comes from the water, and it comes out of the earth. And so it gives us a perfect look at ourselves outside of us and the things that we should consume. And I say all this because I talk about fasting and I talk about this. You can go in the expansive version, like I've said, of consuming all of these things to reorganize your body, and you can do it in the other way. That's the out breath. And you can do it with the in breath, which means, well, excuse me, I guess you would consider it the other way. You'd be consuming all this with an in breath to contain everything, and the out breath would be getting rid of everything and fasting and getting yourself to the most basic fundamental source of life that you are. They both work, and they both have their worthiness. It's feasting and fasting. It's the Mayans who would feast on all of these things and then fast to get rid of the things that were overloading their body. And so we get into these walnuts. It looks like your brain. It has two halves to it. It has oils that are very good for the brain to help with Alzheimer's. And grapes look like your lungs. They hang there like your lungs. Tomatoes, 4 chambers. It looks like your heart. Ginger, everybody knows if you have something wrong with your stomach to consume ginger. Figs are an interesting one. They're filled with seeds. Looks just like the testicles. And they actually grow in pairs. If anybody just, we'll just throw these coincidences aside. It's bizarre. It's the notion is silly. Nature has provided perfectly for us. Sweet potatoes. Oh, kidney beans. It's even in the name. Or how about an almond? It's for the amygdala. And you can even look at the names of the products of people who knew this. It's called an almond joy. And the almond joy is the joy because what you get out of the amygdala is the precursors for the chemicals that produce joy in the system. So almonds help with that. Celery. It has the same amount of sodium as your bones do. It looks just like your forearm there. Mushrooms are probably good for more than just your hearing. The avocado is one of the most, if it doesn't make sense when you look at an avocado, then you're not getting this right now. An avocado takes 9 months to grow. Everybody knows that it has lots of oils in it, it's lots of fats, it's good for the uterus. It takes 9 months to grow, and it's one seed in there. Just like a baby. So the avocado is everything. The whole thing is encompassed within how to help a woman to keep her her womanly parts moist and able to deliver a baby, soft, fat. So these fats are good for all of that. Now again, all of these things that we see out here that have a male or female dynamic to them, it's not just saying, oh, only women should eat avocados, because once again, a male is just a female turned inside out. We have the same things. We have the same, we're exactly the same. One is just flipped inside out. And that's why we're not opposite but complementary. The man goes inside of the woman, and it's like a tesseract. One goes inside and spits out the other side. It's the moon into the sun. The magnetism of the moon sucks in the energy, and the electricity of the sun spits out the energy. It's all overlaid in this reality. And so these food signatures, I put this little graph up to the right here. You probably can't read it, but this just goes to say about, and when you get into some more of the ancient Eastern wisdom and philosophies, the different parts of your colon are linked up with different parts of your spine, which are linked up with different parts of your body. And so this has to do with why you should cleanse out your colon, and then you put these different things in your body, and it will have. I don't know that this one here, this food signature one, lines up the right way, but it's just an idea that it's people that use acupuncture, and there's actually little acupressure points within the colon that has different effects in the body. So you could probably see that maybe you have a problem with your eyesight. Maybe you have a problem with certain organs, other organs in your body, and maybe you have piled up a backlog, a damming up of food, of dead meat, of whatever it might be, sitting in your colon, wrapped up in those parts of your wall of your colon, and it's not letting nutrition. And nutrition comes of light. It's not letting any light in, so all of a sudden your vision is blurry, or all of a sudden you have pains in your knees, or your liver hurts. They're all connected. Your body is one holistic system. It's not disseparate parts. It's not just this or just that. It all works together, so it works on top of each other. And so these foods can correct imbalances in you. That's a couple other good ones. Oh, what is broccoli good for? Broccoli is good. Look at it. It's called a head of lettuce, or look at a broccoli or a cauliflower. It looks like the stem of the brain and your brain. It's brain food. It's good for your brain, and it's good for your lungs as well. What other things? Cucumbers and bananas. It's obvious what those are good for. Where are the seeds? In the middle, right down the center. What other foods are out there? Hold on. Let me take a quick look at something here. All right, here's two quick ones that I overlooked. Peanuts and onions. Penis? Anyone? It's good for the libido. You've probably heard that before. But remember, these peanuts have multiple uses if they're boiled, or if they're cooked, if they're not raw, right? So when you take them in one format, they're doing a job of giving liquid light to the system, and if you take them in another format, they're actually cleansing out your bowels. This is why it's a insoluble fiber. And the use of insoluble fiber is to clean you out inside. So certain nuts and berries that are actually, you would put them, say, in a pot and cook them and heat them up, you're turning them into an insoluble fiber to do a job that way. But if you were to consume them in a different way, whether they're use them in raw nut milk, by taking raw nuts and then sprouting them and turning them into milk, then you're taking the liquid light nutrition. So this is a way of using the different types of alchemy, of heating something up, of using the fire. Because we do have thumbs, we do have a brain, and we're the only ones screwing around with fire. We're the fire carriers. And so we can learn to use the fire to change the food. Think of it this way. If someone is clogged up, if someone is not doing well, and this goes into a larger philosophy of why people don't really get healthy. When you tell them, oh, you're out of shape, you need to go do you need to go do a juice fast. It will make you feel better. Well, that's not necessarily going to be true. Okay, here's the idea. If someone's all clogged up and you start giving them juice, there's no saying that that's going to get into their system. And if it does, it might be only taking other other old products that are stuck in their gut into their system, and it's not really cleaning them that well. It's only going to make them feel bad. Where if you were to put a lot of insoluble and soluble fibers in them, it's not going to be giving them any light and nutrition, but it will be tearing down the old barriers, the barriers inside of the colon walls that aren't allowing your body to be flooded with water and light, and the light codes and information that are in the plant life that are in the juices. This is why you need to clean your colon first. Clean your colon with soluble and insoluble fibers. I've done other videos on this. And it's easy enough to find. It's easy enough to do. This stuff isn't hard. It's just a matter of doing it. Do enemas. Clean out your colon. That way you can actually absorb all of the things that you're putting in your body. And so these food signatures will actually be brighter. You'll notice them. And I didn't put this in my other video, but I was talking about my 40-day fast. And afterwards, I could... The information of the food was obvious. I knew exactly what I was eating. I was getting downloads from the food itself, from the signature of the food. It would speak a language that was its own to me. And then you clog yourself back up and go through these feastings and going out here and doing earthly dense things, and then the subtlety of these foods disappears. But and here's the next level. I'll even get to this. You can use the aroma and the oils. It's called aromacology or aromatherapy. The idea of taking plant life and imbuing it into oils and imbibing it through the skin, as the Swinwits or the ancient Egyptian healers, the women of the massage and the oil of the ancient Egyptians, that they would put these oils on the body so it'd suck into the body and not actually get digested through the stomach acids. You'd be getting primal source code material and smelling it through the nose, and the nose doesn't have any filters, so you'd be smelling the aroma, healing that way, and collecting the information directly through the skin without burning anything in the stomach acids. This is the bypassing of all of the ingestion of gross material product and using alchemy outside of you to push in information internally. This is high level stuff. And the way to get there is to clean your colon, to fast on orin and water, then put fruit juices in your body, and cleanse your brain by standing upside down, by doing headstands, by inverting yourself while you're using lots of water to clean your brain out, using lots of oils through bastis and an enema to lubricate your body and lubricate your system. And then as you start to be able to ingest the aroma to get the information and the energy, then you can move on to using the oils on the skin. Not that you can't prior to this, because it's still always a brilliant idea to use massage and aromatherapy during this. But this gets to the point of getting away from the gross food matter. Cleaning all your tubes out, cleaning your body temple out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Cheers, y'all.